You have to let me in the house.
Oh.
We're doing a bit. Did you hear the knocking? No, sorry, it's for a bit. It's for a bit. Sorry, Meg. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Oh, this is going well, folks. He's supposed to be a plumber, but I think it's just funnier that his girlfriend's questioning why he's slamming his desk. Hello, who's there?
It's the plumber.
A plumber? I didn't call for a plumber. We're all right here.
Oh, sorry, mate. You a Doctor Who fan?
I am, yeah.
Oh, you've got all these leaks, mate.
Have I?
You got all these leaks.
Oh, actually, to be fair, there have been quite a few. In fact, I was reading one that there was this Doctor Who podcaster that could do a terrible Scottish accent.
Hey.
Let's talk about some leaks, shall we, everyone? Roll the intro. Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. My name is Troy, his name is Crispy, and we are the hotline that accepts your calls from anywhere in time and space. And today, it's time for some therapy, Crispy. Not like I've had enough of that the last few weeks, but
Yeah.
I've been hinting at this for a while, you know?
Yeah, it's time to talk about it, huh?
Yeah, it's time to talk about the big Doctor Who drama, the big one.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one, you ask?
there's too
Anyway,
many.
no, we're talking about Doctor Who leaks today, something that, as we discussed in the last few episodes, have played a very prominent part in this particular era of Doctor Who. Crispy, I believe, has prepared some stuff for us to go through. We've got callers to give your thoughts on the leaking situation. It genuinely just sounds like we're a YouTube news slop channel, just like, you know, the Doctor Who leak drama is insane.
Yeah, no, we are. Well, this is.
We're not slop. We're fine cuisine, sir. We're fine cuisine.
Indeed.
Only people with the most delectable palates listen to this podcast.
So if you're listening, you are delectable.
And we're delighted with you. Crispy, how are you doing
delighted to
today,
have
good
you.
sir? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm real good. I left my phone at work today. Can you
What?
believe that? I drove home. I got halfway home because I was just listening to the radio, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll plug in my phone and listen to some music the rest of the way. I was like, oh, my phone's actually not here. So I left it at home, and I'll just get it tomorrow morning at the office.
Wait, so it's just still in work now?
It's just still at work now, yeah. Anyway,
you couldn't go
how's
back and
your
get
day?
it?
No, it's halfway home.
How far is your drive?
It's not very far. It's like 15 minutes, maybe. I could
Brother,
have
you
made that
could-
call.
I'm
could have
almost
made
more
that
proud
call.
of you because you could have very easily turned around, but you're just proving you don't need your phone.
I don't need it. I don't. Well, usually when I get home, I just chuck it on charge, and I don't really touch it unless we're chit chatting that night. Even then, you have to contact my girlfriend to be like, "Hey, are we recording tonight?" Because they're
I have
answering
done
his
that
phone.
once or twice for the record listeners, yeah, when Crispy's forgotten I've messaged his girlfriend and gone, does he remember he's meant to be doing something? She goes, no, he didn't, I've sent him
No.
off.
Yeah. That's exactly
It's
it. But yeah, that's
adorable.
my
It's
day.
adorable.
How was yours? What'd you get up to?
I woke up and here I am.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Time
man.
travel. That's
We
how
had
it
another
works.
edition of the Moth Saga last night. I was
Oh, no.
I was up late getting the podcast set up because last week's episode we literally recorded the day that I edited it. Well, like a day, but less than 24 hours before it went up.
Yeah.
I'm good at English. And I finished editing and uploading it. It got quite late at night. I was doing the thumbnail, and then a moth started flying around my room. So of course, for about an hour, I was chasing the thing around, and I'm not even sure if I found it. But you know,
Well, it might rock up this episode. So
imagine
listen,
that's the
everyone.
special guest.
Special guest featuring Moth.
It is returning through the dark, and it's a moth.
It did. It will.
So, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time to leak. Okay, I'm going to go to the toilet. Back in a minute, Crispy. Sorry.
Oh,
No,
nice.
I had to make the joke. I'm so funny. So, yeah,
good.
there's been a huge culture of leaks with this whole era of Doctor Who. And one person has been most responsible for it. Crispy, do you want to lead us in here? Tell us about this mysterious leaking man.
Well, this hasn't really, I don't know if this happened for last season, but for the 60th anniversary specials, quite a substantial amount of the plot threads leaked for that. Basically, the entire plot of the Star Beast and the Giggle got leaked. Some details for Wild Blue Yonder, not many, which is still impressive. But basically, the entirety of Church on Ruby Road was leaked, that entire thing. For season 1, I don't know. We didn't really keep up with leaks, but I'm sure something leaked. Sutek was leaked,
I bet you everything
guess.
leaks as well.
But for season 2, I tried to avoid this as much as I could.
Same.
But basically, every major thing that happened in season 2 was leaked ahead of schedule, including the stuff they reshot in February. Everything leaked, basically,
which is crazy,
which is absolutely insane. So there is this person who goes by the name of Andrew. They've changed their username now, but Andrew somehow has some connection to someone who's able to get early access to these episodes, because he started with the Robot Revolution. And he was commenting. All of these comments, I think, were on the Confused Adiposes channel. Like, every single one of these comments was just on the Confused. Like, he was just replying to people, being like, "Oh, this is what happens." And then they were like, "Yeah, sure, dude." And they're like, "Oh, you don't believe me? Well, at the start of the Robot Revolution, Belinda and her boyfriend are sitting on a park bench and they're looking up at the sky, and that's how the star gets named Miss Belinda Chandra and all of that."
Oh man.
Yeah. So much of this season was leaked. I'm happy to. I've got an entire document here. Someone's done this beautiful. I don't know how to say their name. AM Metfiend on Reddit has done an entire comprehensive thread of everything that they leaked and exactly the way they worded it. So we can kind of get a picture as to what Andrew was like. I'm not the biggest fan of Andrew. I'll say that now.
No,
because
same.
I'm a big fan of enjoying the episode and enjoying the season without any high expectations or something being spoiled for me. And because this stuff is so widespread, I never saw a single Andrew comment. I never saw a single Andrew comment for the entire season. What I did see was everyone on Twitter react to this. So
this is the problem, right? Because we can blame Andrew as much as we want, and he is obviously the source of it, and they need to plug the source and make sure that it doesn't happen again. But there's also an argument that a lot of people on Doc2 social spaces, particularly the Bird app, are just so adamant in sharing and talking about it all. Like, it just makes it 10 times worse, because it's not, some people will go, "I've seen the leaks and whatever," but most people will go, "Can't believe that, what's this bi-generation, the Rani," and it's just like, why are we doing this? Why are we then ruining it for other people?
And I mean, look, it's also prevalent on YouTube, and I've got to be honest, I need to, back in 2022, 2023, it was all the rage. I got in on that. 2021, I was talking about leak content.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. You were becoming the new Tharies, and I had to stop you. I had to save you from yourself.
I look back, and I don't think anything became true from what I said. But still, I did it. So I'm sorry, everyone. But I don't do that anymore. I've learned from my mistakes.
Good.
Hopefully. But it is a good way to get views. Anyway.
Unfortunately, yeah. That's the problem. Everyone has... people have inquisitive minds. They get the idea of getting some inside scoop, then they want to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But leak culture is definitely a thing in Doctor Who. It has been for a long time. Speaking for the revival, the first episode, Rose, leaked in its entirety the week before transmission, I believe. And there was that massive one in Series 8, where the first 5 or 6 episodes were leaked. Black and white version was leaked because someone was supposed to do the subtitles and someone was able to hack that copy of the... Do you remember that? Do you remember Marcelo?
I think you might have mentioned this before, but I don't remember it happening at the time, no.
You don't remember this? Dude, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. There's, unfinished, unpolished versions of the first 5 episodes of Series 8 were all leaked in its entirety. But this one seems like a different beast because this is a tangible figure that's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like someone's intercepted it. I don't know. It just feels like a very different situation. So we've got a bunch of callers. We've got the entirety of the things that leaked here from Andrew. So what I'm going to suggest is we listen to a call and then we read out an episode leak. And then we listen to a call and then we read out an episode leak. And we can just see exactly what was said. Do you like that idea? I just came up with that on the spot.
That sounds pretty good to me, mate. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Let's start with a call though. Let's start with a call. Who do you want to start with?
We've got quite a lot of callers, and for the record, we've got these in. Was it just over 24 hours, or less than 24 hours? So you guys delivered. You guys delivered.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Let's go for. Ooh, I don't know. Wait, what is this, Monsieur Big Finish? Is that Conor McRae? It's 6 seconds.
Okay, let's have a look. Monsieur Big Finish. Hello.
There's a leak in the boat!
Thank you. Thank you.
I love when
Do you
people
know-
call in and give us their opinion on things. I love
Do you
it
know
so
what that's
much.
from? Do you know what that's from?
No idea.
Oh, it's from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, I believe, and it's an actual leek, like the vegetable in the boat.
Oh, for goodness
That's the whole thing. That's the whole joke. Very good,
Oh.
Conor McRae. Thank you once. I mean, Monsieur Big Finish, definitely not a regular caller of
Definitely
this podcast.
not.
Let's have Ben Casey. I don't recognize this name. Hello, Ben.
Okay.
How you doing?
I think the leaks are a bit much. I think Russell needs to take a look at himself and then start making the show how it used to be, because he needs to grow up, stop the same babes and all that stuff. It turns people off the show. And it's so easy to see. The leaks don't help. The leaks just make it worse, mate. So he needs to look at himself in the mirror.
Okay, I didn't understand all of that.
That felt like he went from saying the leaks are bad to just then saying Rusty Davies is not doing a good
Russell's
job
bad.
having the 15th Doctor call people babes. That's not a leak. That's a part of an
No, that's not
episode.
a leak. That's a different thing entirely. Interesting. Well, look, I'll take something from that.
Go on, babes.
Russell, there is a theory that Russell and like the team at the BBC have leaked stuff before to get the general reaction of this. I've seen a conspiracy theory that Andrew was in fact Russell T Davies. I don't believe that for a second.
No,
I really
absolutely not.
I don't believe that for a second. But yeah, I don't think. I think if I was showrunner, I'd be terrified of leaks, and I don't think it's their responsibility. There's no like it takes an army to make a television program, regardless of the scale. And there's so many moving factors, and there's a million things and a million opportunities for something to leak, whether it be
Exactly.
a script or a VFX shot or a casting announcement. Anything can leak. Anything can leak, but unfortunately for season 2, a lot of things did. Not all Russell's fault, I don't believe.
No, and especially with the budget they've got now and the team they've got at Babel Studios. I mean, not to say they never had a lot of people working on it, but just watching
No, they got
Unleashed,
more
you get an
people than
idea of
ever.
the scope and the number of people involved and the number of different roles. Like, you speak to someone who's like a sound manager and they're like the third assistant sound manager, and you're like, wow, how many people are working in this specific department, in every specific department? It only takes one person to be the person to go, by the way, I've seen this happening, this thing's happening. And I don't know that, like, it's all well and good for me to say, and I do believe they need to get better control of leaks and stopping, like, things getting out. But also, how do they do that? How easy is it to make
don't
that
know.
happen?
I don't know. And I would love to know just where Andrew fits in the picture. Where in the pipeline?
Maybe he's not Russell
know a
Davies, maybe he's
script
like,
edit?
maybe it's Phil Collinson or something. He's just like,
Yeah, it might be Phil. Who knows?
there's internal drama and he's leaking everything. He's like, I'm not happy with Russell. I'm leaking. That is a joke, by the way. That is a joke. Yeah, who
so-
knows?
This is going to be interesting for you. So imagine Troy. It is the 24th of March this year, the 24th of March. And when did Series 2 premiere? When was that?
April
May?
something?
I can't remember now when the Robot Revolution came out. But anyway, later than March. You ready for this? You ready
Yeah.
for this? We're going to talk about the Robot Revolution here.
Go on.
And so this is Andrew replying to a comment. And he says, yes, you're right. The plot of episode 1 is definitely a rehash of the abandoned RTD Christmas special, which is interesting because, as we know, Stephen Moffat took over for Christmas and RTD was definitely writing something for Christmas.
Yeah.
Except the planet is called Belinda Chandra World, and the villain and the creator of the robots is her ex-boyfriend, who, when they were teenagers, gave a certificate giving her a random star in the night sky, which happens to be this planet. That was one comment. So we already have revealed the twist villain. We already have revealed.
Yeah, some of the finer details not quite right. Saying like he's the creator of the robots, which he wasn't. So there's not 100%
Yeah,
accuracy.
that's
but there's
interesting. Yeah,
there's
that's
like
interesting
90%
actually.
accuracy.
But I think that this person has seen it once. I think that this person and interprets from like I don't think they have like the scripts.
I was
going
gonna say either that or the person on set. Assumedly, it's someone on set leaking to him. I don't believe he's a crew member. I mean, surely if he was a crew member, they'd be more on top of people's socials and stuff.
I don't think this person was on set at all.
Yeah, so like whoever's telling them, maybe that's what they thought was going on in the plot, and they've got something wrong, and they've thought he was the creator of the robots when actually he wasn't. So it could even just be that. It could be like Chinese whispers.
He might have just stuffed up. Anyway, another
Yeah.
comment is, "You'll know I'm right from the opening scene, which is a teenage." Listen, okay, the spelling is not great.
Okay.
Okay, I'll read it verbatim. You'll know I'm right from the opening scene, which is a teenage and Belinda and her boyfriend sitting on a park bench looking up at the night sky, and he points to a star and gives her a present as a certificate gifting to her. Hence, it becomes Belinda Chandra World. Seriously. And then the scenes of the futuristic planet, which some people thought looked very Dalek-y, are actually Belinda Chandra World from episode 1. So there you go. That's all.
Yeah, they
that's
really
all he
did
said
look
about the
Dalek-y.
robot revolution. It did look very Dalek-y. Even the shooty blast 'em ups, all of that looked very Dalek-y too.
Yeah.
Oh well, hopefully Shooty can face a Dalek one day. Anyway, so yeah, he revealed that's not the worst offender. The robot revolution, not the worst offender. However, quite a lot revealed. Oh no, Troy's sad now. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. Let's cheer him up. Let's cheer him up with Noah.
The leaks were definitely the worst part of the last season for me. I avoided them, but I still knew like all of the rumors going around, and it really detracted from my viewing experience going into something like The Well, kind of expecting it to be a Midnight sequel, or going into the reality war and expecting Shooty to regenerate. There weren't any big surprises in the season for me, because even if I hadn't confirmed or I hadn't seen a leak or something, everybody was talking about all these things. And so when it happened, it wasn't so much like a big surprise as it was me going, oh yeah, okay, they did what everybody said they were going to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. If you went through this season without knowing a single leak or knowing that, or having a hunch that Shooty might regenerate at the end of it, please let us know in the comments, and I want to know how you did it. I want to know how you did
It's
it.
probably just don't be on Twitter.
Don't be all, yeah, you just live in the, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, it's definitely disappointing. All right, Lux, are you ready for Lux?
All right, go on.
Here we go. Lux, this is all still on the 25th of March. A lot happened on the 25th of March this year. Is that the date that Rose aired in 2005? Is this 20 years after the first episode? Was that the 25th
might
of
have
March?
been.
Where did Rose premiere? Doctor Who, 2005. No, it was the 26th. Anyway, one day off of 20 years of the first episode leaking. Let's have a look-see. Troy, are you still there? Hello?
I'm still there.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you froze for a second, but you're all good. Let's have a look. Lux. Ahem. Overall, Series 2 is a step up from Series 1. The first 3 episodes are okay, although there are some scenes in Episodes 2 which some fans may not like, with a trio of Doctor Who fans, wearing a scarf, fez, etc., reviewing the episode from a sofa. But no standout episodes, ... But it's the episode Lux, in which a cartoon character escapes from a cinema screen into the real world, and the Doctor and Belinda become cartoon characters on screen, all very surreal. And there is a trio of Doctor Who fans sitting on a sofa and suitably attired, watching and reviewing their on-screen antics as we would, watching the episode itself. A TV program within a TV program. I thought it was quite clever, although I was not a big fan of the last series, but not everyone might appreciate it. That's what they revealed from Lux.
Blimey.
The big reveal that there were some Doctor Who fans.
The audio listeners, I did try and freeze on the camera for a good bit of time, but I was staring into my ring light and eventually my eyes hurt, so I stopped doing it. I don't know if Crispy even noticed me doing it.
No, I was reading.
That's heartbreaking. Saying there were no standout episodes in the first few, I mean, The Well,
Crazy.
hello? Come on. Yeah. I mean, even Lux as well, but like the Well's like a 10 out of 10 for me.
That's so funny. We're like, yeah, Season 2 is definitely a step up. Not really anything stand out, and then like quite everyone by The Well was like, yeah, Doctor Who's back.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
exactly.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny to me. Let's listen to Absolutely Delighted RTD. Hello.
This is my impression of Russell T Davies when he catches Andrew for leaking everything on season 2. I'm absolutely delighted. So delighted. Yeah, this is Micah from Alabama. Thank you.
What? He's delighted to have caught the leak. All right,
Bro is delighted. Yeah, cool. Cool,
dude. Like, I'm delighted you leaked everything or something. I was going to be like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
Here we go. Troy, this one's a big
here,
one.
Crispy. We've started a bit.
What's the bit?
Russell being
Absolutely delighted?
Like,
Bro,
that's one small clip from a BBC interview in, like, 2005 that I just heard in a Clever Dick Films episode, and it's become a bit
delighted.
in here. Yeah. Absolutely delighted.
Oh, it's the best. It's unreal. Troy, The Well. You ready for this?
Well.
Also on the 25th of March. You ready? Very small comment.
Let's go.
Episode 3 is a sequel to Midnight.
That's how it opens.
That's how it opens. That's how it opens.
Oh my gosh.
The next day, he says, yes, it's quite creepy, atmospheric episode. Lots of tension set in an underground base on a remote planet. It's the one with Rose Ailing Ellis in it. And the fact that her character, who was deaf and cannot easily communicate, has been possessed by the midnight creature is integral to the plot. Anyway, that's it. I just think it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm getting depressed reading this.
Like, I don't even. That was
a
deflating.
big one. That was the one that was really spoiled for me, and it's crazy considering that's probably like the smallest comment he's left on any of these episodes.
And that's the thing. Like, I didn't get spoiled on the leaks. Like, I heard. I mean, I think was it? I think it was when I was on Nostalgia Bait with George and Cooper of, like, for their podcast. They mentioned about, like, one of the rumors for, like, episode 3 or something, and then we'd also heard somewhere there was going to be a legacy sequel to a previous episode, but that was said in Doctor Who magazine, and that's the level of teasing I don't mind. If you don't even say which episode it is, and you're like, one might be a sequel to something you're not expecting, like, that can add a bit of tension and make you think a bit more about the details as you're hearing stuff. I like that. But,
definitely.
Like, for me, it was spoiled because someone just put a screen cap from BBC iPlayer on Twitter that just said it was called Midnight, which it's not entirely their fault, because as soon as the episode's aired, whether people like it or not, if you want to talk about it on Twitter, fair enough. Like, I logged on, I happened to see that, that's my fault. But, like, if you're talking about the leaks and you're going, oh, it's the Midnight entity that's going to be in tomorrow's episode, it's like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
There are so many leaks for these kind of things, and I guarantee, as you said, there have been leaks for previous Doctor Who seasons and stuff, but I've never seen them shared around this much. Is it just because people have a dismay for Russell T Davies now, or for this era for Disney?
I don't know. I think it's an interest. It's very, very interesting because all this happened before season 2 came out, and how good season 2 was up until a certain point. Some people would say that, but. Maybe it is. Maybe there was, kind of a narrative being like, oh, let's derail this show. Yeah. Well, maybe people were just too excited. I don't know. Leaks are a very fascinating thing because it feels like you're in on the goss. You're in on the joke. You're in on, like, you feel like you're ahead of the game. That's very enticing. But it shouldn't be public information.
No, it shouldn't.
It simply should not be.
And the energy with which people share them, it just, like... I've said it already, I've described it many times, there are fans who are now too entitled, who want to share every single detail and think that, they have a right to know every single internal working because they've heard Andrew waffle on about a couple of plot details for an episode. And it's just making it more and more toxic and harder to be a fan. And it makes me sad, for one thing, because when I was at MCM London a couple of months ago, which we're going to talk about on the podcast soon enough, but I was on the panel. I think I mentioned I was on the Who Community show panel, and one of the things they asked us about towards the end was like, what does the Doctor Who community mean to you? And I gave this big answer about how, it's a very welcoming community and everyone's really nice to each other, and I meant that. In the back of my head as I said it, I was kind of like, there is that subset of people who are very much kind of downplaying the era or wanting the show to get cancelled again because they don't like RTD2, but I kind of put that aside because I was like, let's be positive, and but net positive, the community is really lovely and welcoming. Since the finale's come out, it's just been so different, I feel like. I don't think it's been anything close to welcoming, and I think a lot of it's not just because the episodes haven't been well received, because that's a big part of it, and that's fair, but that is just another part of the snowball effect of knowing so much of what's going on behind the show. I think without the leak element of it, you'd have an audience who felt very deflated, sure, and were like, oh, Russell for the second finale that wasn't so good, like the common opinion, even if I like them both. But it wouldn't be nearly as bad without the leaks. It would not be nearly as bad because they know these internal affairs and they want to share them around so willingly. Everyone thinks they know so much better now. Maybe they do, but also maybe they don't. And it makes the fandom so much more toxic. And as I talked about last week, I barely see Doctor Who stuff in my socials now because I'm muting a lot of the key people who are talking about big things from the show because I don't want to hear it. I just don't.
Yeah, now this is going to be a controversial question for you.
Oh dear. Oh, I love controversy. Lay it on me.
I'm just wondering, I think you know where I stand on it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I just think, okay, I'll just ask it and then we can discuss.
Okay.
Do you think there is a difference between knowing what's happening behind the scenes production-wise or a plot detail leaking? in regards to
There's
the
a difference?
different.
I mean,
like the different types of leaks
yes.
as to. Okay.
Why do you ask?
That's cool. Oh, because I'm really intrigued. Like, I have my tinfoil hat on to like try and figure out what's going on behind the scenes of Doctor Who. But it really annoys me when I gets told that the Midnight Entity is in an episode. But maybe that's bad. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe I need to stop.
Well, hang on. What would you describe as a production leak that isn't a plot leak then? Because, like, how would you discern that difference?
Okay, well, for example, if it was like, yeah, Stephen Moffat's been hired as the new showrunner and the entire show was moving to Netflix.
Right, okay. Yeah, I suppose, like, I think that's not so bad, but also it's still, I don't know, maybe call me old-fashioned, I think I just kind of prefer knowing things that we're meant to know when we're meant to know them. Like, the element of surprise just is kind of lost on us a lot these days, and we have to know everything about what's going on with everything. If, like, in the specific situation we're in now, where we kind of know, even without leaks, that, they're waiting on a renewal from Disney Plus and we haven't had it yet, whether it's going to go one way or the other, like, this is the kind of point in time where if there was something about production behind the scenes, I'd maybe be more interested to know. But, like, in a typical, season 2's coming out, here's loads of things happening behind the scenes, I don't want to know that. Like, what benefits me to know that?
I think.
You know what I mean?
It's also like a different time now because, like, as you were like, oh, we kind of know, but we don't know. Nothing official has been said at all.
But that's my
Really,
point.
like,
We don't know
yeah.
what's happening with the renewal.
We don't know what's happening with the Doctor.
Like, what's happening?
Like, we don't know. We know nothing.
And we now have parades of people being like, "Oh, the show should get cancelled. Put it on a rest." No.
It's on arrest right now.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
on arrest right now. Anyway, just chillax. Let's listen to Zach. Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Hello, Zach.
So for series 1 of Doctor Who, I was a lot more into like the Thary's videos and things like that about all the leaks and stuff. But then for series 2, I went completely blank. I didn't watch any of them. And I think it made for a much more enjoyable experience because every time something came, like the Rani or something, I was a lot more excited about it and happy about it when it came. And I was like, oh, that happened, rather than, oh, I knew that was going to happen because I watched a video about it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's tough. It's the Wild West. It's the Wild West out there.
You rob yourself of the fun if you are looking into the leaks. Like, Thary's is a friend of the channel. Like, we've done stuff with him. I'll be honest, on the record right now, I'm not currently subscribed to him. I've seen him doing, like, leak stuff again. I've just unsubbed. I'm not looking at his stuff. I don't even want to see his thumbnails. Like, I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the thumbnail discussion is an interesting one. I am more inclined to be like, yeah, talk about it, but don't spoil it in the thumbnail. Which, I mean, look, like, that gets thrown my way a lot because of my review thumbnails, but you got to keep in mind that I post my reviews like a full 24 hours after the episode has aired in the UK. So I think that's fair. And my usual thing is, like, if Who Culture's doing it, I think we're fine. I think we're all right. I think we'll be fine.
Let them take the fall before you do. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, thumbnails is a different beast. This is an interesting discussion as a Doctor Who YouTuber and someone who has contributed to this in the past. Anyway, I'm nowhere near as bad as Andrew. Hello. Troy, guess what?
What?
It's your lucky day, brother.
Oh,
Let's go.
very good. It doesn't feel like my lucky day, though, mate. I'll be honest.
Yeah, here we go. Still on the 25th of March. He's replying to some comment, and he's like, Conrad? Does he play the guy in Lucky Day? If so, he goes on a date with Ruby. But, spoiler alert, he actually says spoiler alert, that's funny. He turns out to be not as he seems. That's all I can remember. It's a bit 73 yards, this one. Episode 4 is a Dr. Light one with Ruby Sunday. He is not all that he seems in episode 4, although he sort of redeems himself in the finale, and that comment was in April.
Blimey. So
Crazy.
Also confirming he was in the finale, which I know there have been some set photos, I think. Someone had taken photos of one of those Conrad posters from Wishworld,
Yeah.
like that had done the rounds. Like, I saw someone mention that, being like, oh, I'm not surprised he's coming back in the finale, but already seeing that on set, and I didn't know that until afterwards, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, neither.
Which I'm glad I didn't see, because, again, I think, and even then, that goes to, like, there's even a whole debate about set photos, you know? Like, how much do we want to know from on the set?
I
I knew there would be a Harbinger thing in Lux because I saw a set photo of Shuzi and Verada running out the cinema, and the light letter said Harbinger. Now,
yeah.
It was so far in the past I'd forgotten about it until the Lux went ha 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 ha, and the letters went off, and I went, I forgot about that. So I'm glad it was long enough between it that I had time to forget.
That's
but
one
still
good thing about this season. They filmed it ages ago.
Yes, that was one advantage if you saw a set photo. If you weren't terminally online, you could easily forget about it afterwards.
I don't know. I'd like set photos is also like a completely separate entity because, like, you remember like the 2022. This podcast is starting.
Yep.
And Jodie's, she hasn't regenerated yet, but we see those really grainy images of David Tennant in that beautiful blue coat when they're filming at the markets.
Yeah.
Oh my word, I've never been so excited in my life. I was so excited.
In fairness, we didn't know for sure at that point that he was the 14th Doctor, or
we had no idea
who he was. There was a decent likelihood he was going to be the one after Jodie, and we kind of figured it would be that, but there was no official confirmation, and that was better.
No. Yeah, that was better. But I think there's good and bad with.
Yeah, there's a fine line here, and
there is a fine
line,
but it's impossible to know. Like, how do you police that? Because if I don't know. I saw some people being like, someone filmed like a monitor. Someone filmed a monitor of one of these episodes. I can't remember if it was in series 1 or season 2 or whatever. But someone filmed a monitor, and that was like an actual. That's what the final product almost would end up looking like, and a lot of people were like, "Hey, that's too far."
Much too far.
There's but like the people at the set, or fans or whatever, I think it's a really good opportunity to potentially maybe meet a cast member or see your favorite show being filmed. But then you also run the risk of spoiling the episode, and I don't know. I could go on for days about the ethics of it because it's not clear. It's not very clear as to if it's a good or a bad
stances
thing.
will contradict each other based on the circumstances, because it is just such a strange one, and there is such a fine line that isn't a straight line either. It's almost more of like a common sense eyeballing what's right, what's not, and some people unfortunately just overstepping
you don't know how significant something is going to be when you when you film
it's hard.
Unless you can kind of piece it together. I don't know. That something
You have to be a big brainy Doctor Who fan to figure it out.
I don't know. I think it's strange if you go to a lot of these and then somehow get invited to the set of the show, but that might just be me. Anyway, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. Do you want to mention that specifically? Because now it sounds like you're talking about Tharies, and we're not talking about Tharies.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not talking. Yeah, let's make that very clear.
I was just going to say, let's make that clear.
To be if Tharies deserves the world. But anyway, yeah, we don't have to talk about it. I was just very, very jealous.
That was promoting a lot of set photos from Doctor Who that perhaps told far more than they should have ended up on the TARDIS.
I went over to the UK for Doctor Who's 60th year, and maybe I got in my head with my contacts at the BBC that something like that might be possible. There are a lot of maybes, but nothing ever came to fruition. So anyway, it's just interesting seeing someone that potentially has spoiled the show for someone get rewarded. But anyway, whatever.
No, very fair point. And I also just desperately want to be on that TARDIS. I would I would give 3 left legs. I don't even have 3 left legs, but I'd give them.
Yeah, I would as well. But that's just jealous, and maybe I've gone too far, but that's just a thought I had. Anyway, let's listen to a call. Let's take our mind off this nonsense.
I did get a message from Meg from DW 2012, said she called in. She went, I've called in, but don't play it until you record, which, I mean, we do for most of the calls anyway. So, should we see what she said when she called in?
Sure. Hello.
Let's have a listen. Oh, it literally says, here we go.
Hi, Troy and Crispy. So, Doctor Who leaks, right? I think Russell just sort of deliberately, breadcrumb stuff, because he loves a bit of promotion, stuff like that. Oh, hang on. Whoa, what's that? News just in, there's a Doctor Who leak. Oh my god, so DW 2012's Doctor Who fan film Time Crisis Part 3, aka the Series 5 finale, is out on the 28th of June, Saturday at 7 p.m. on the DW 2012 YouTube channel. Oh my god, and I hear it's pretty damn good. Hey, hey.
Well done.
Fair enough, Meg.
Well
I cannot
done.
fault it. I cannot fault it.
That is the most seamless self-promotion
Friends
we've
of the
ever had
channel.
on this podcast.
Yeah. And Meg and Luke
Yeah.
are two very dear friends of mine, so I'm going to allow the self-promo. I'm fine with that.
They are. No,
Unfortunately
they're
for Meg,
fantastic.
she picked the wrong episode because by the time this goes out, the episode will already be out. Well, then again, that could be okay. So it will have been
that's
out for a
fine.
few days. What I will say
Yeah,
is,
go and
that
check
like
it
much
out.
like season 1 and season 2 of Doctor Who, they filmed a lot of this miles ahead of time and were editing it for a while. Like a year or more ago, they showed me some of the bits they'd filmed from the final episode and told me the plot of it, and I'm like, I'm very excited. Like I don't even know the plot. They told me some of the bits because I asked him to explain like his behind the scenes thoughts. And he's like told me a bunch of stuff and like his plans. I'm like, oh.
You know what you should do, Troy? Type in confused adipose and just comment the entire plot on his channel.
Exactly.
And
See,
then
here's the difference.
yeah.
I haven't told anyone what I know.
There it is.
I have
hasn't
restraint,
told a
ladies and
damn
gentlemen. Would you
soul.
believe it?
I can't.
But yeah,
I truly cannot.
Point being, from what I have heard, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And if you don't already watch the DW 2012 fan films, just type in DW 2012 on YouTube. Go watch it. The whole of Series 5 is phenomenal. They've done some really, really good stuff there. And we're in one of the episodes at one point, very briefly.
Oh yeah. It's a banger as well. It's very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So go watch it. Go watch it. Time Crisis Part 3.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I can't wait to see people's reactions. Like, I'm very excited for that. I've been waiting for that for a while. So
I'm
fair
keen.
play, Meg.
I'm keen.
Right,
Yeah.
Crispy. Any more leaks from that text document?
Yeah,
or are we beginning to...
let's smash this out. I'm gonna do Story in the Engine and Interstellar in one.
Okay.
I'll summarize all of this. This is all still on the 25th of March, and which is crazy because the episode, like these are all these episodes finished up how long ago? 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And we're talking about things from March here. So basically he says, yeah, the fugitive doctor's in this one and I really don't like this episode. That's all.
Another
that's all he
person
says.
who doesn't like the story in the engine. Crazy.
Yeah, it is. This is just, it's a very different leak because this person's giving their genuine opinion on the show. So they're obviously a fan and they're like, it's a step up from, like, complimented it and then being like, oh, but the show's not great. This episode sucks. I find it like there's something, this person is real. It's a real person.
Yeah.
So it's very strange. But yeah, so they basically ruined the Joe Martin surprise, which is crazy considering it's like 5 seconds long. But luckily it didn't get spoiled for me. Interstellar Song Contest, here we go. This comment: Mrs. Flood is a bi-generation of the Rani, who
Oh
reappears
my
at the
gosh.
end of episode 6 and is in the 2-part finale. There you go. This was on 24th of March, this one. 24th
That's
of
actually
March.
appalling.
Yeah, the big mystery setup in 2023 was ruined on the 24th of March 2025.
See, this is the point. Like, even if you didn't mind some small plot details, this is so far beyond pushing it, there's nothing left to push. It's off a cliff.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Should we have one more caller?
Yes. Yeah. Let's have one more. Let's
see.
I think.
Now you're changing into next week's episode, Chris. Be
Sorry.
careful.
Apologies.
Exciting.
Rob.
Rob? Yeah, let's see what Rob has to say. Has he been robbed of fun?
I find Doctor Who leaks incredibly frustrating. I was in a situation for the last series at work where a group of us Doctor Who fans steered clear of them on purpose, only to have one colleague who'd seen them announce to us that he'd seen them, and then randomly had these theories that then he framed as not because of the leaks, and it was obvious that they were leaks, and we were very, very frustrated. So not a fan.
I completely forgot that is a whole other subset to people who pretend that they haven't seen the leaks and then predict the exact things they read in the leaks.
I didn't know that was a thing. Look, no one in my social circle is a Doctor Who fan, not even my girlfriend. So I don't talk to anyone about Doctor Who. Except
Other than
you,
me.
Troy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Every week.
What are we talking about every week then, fella? Blimey.
Yeah, true.
You watched Ironheart yet?
Is that out yet? Oh,
It's out
we'll be
today.
now. Yeah.
Time we're recording. Actually, by
yeah,
the time the
crikey.
next episode goes out, it'll all be out, which is crazy for a Marvel show, by the way.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, three of the episodes today, and then the other 3 next week, and then that's it. It's just done.
Oh, I read somewhere that because that's what Andor did. They dropped 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Disney loved that. They were like, "This is the way. This is what's going to happen in the future."
I
So
don't
get ready.
love that, 'cause I
Get
still
ready
haven't
for
finished Andor.
get ready for if Doctor Who comes back to Disney, that the entire season will be done in 2 to 3 weeks.
Imagine that 4 episodes, or maybe 2 episodes each week, or 4 episodes in a week, and it's done in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Look,
Ugh.
could happen. Stranger things have happened.
Oh. No, that's
yeah,
Netflix.
look. Yeah, nice. Honestly, Rob, go to HR. That can't be happening.
Yeah,
that
get
can't
him
be
sacked.
happening. Get him sacked.
Exterminate him.
Anyway,
So come on,
they seem
finale
to...
leaks. Finish us off, Crispy. Give me some pain.
Oh, here we go. Jeez Louise. It's everything, man. It's the entire thing. Interestingly, 25th of March, he said, not seen the last episode yet. That's very interesting.
Did he later comment on the last episode in this document?
He does. He commented on the 7th of April, so there was about like a week or two in between. Something I want to know who this Andrew is and how he gets his copies. What's he doing? But he
7th
does
of
say
April. I think it came back on the 12th of April, if I'm correct. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it came back on the 12th of April, so this was the Monday before it came back on the Saturday.
Interesting. Anyway, he says on the 25th of March, still, at the beginning of episode 7, the Rani is seen riding on horseback through a forest in Hungary. And later on in the episode, Mrs. Flood to be revealed, is revealed as her bi-generation spin-off to the Doctor. And then she starts babbling about Omega, who I presume turns up in the finale. So they don't know that yet. And Susan Carol Ann Ford also makes a cameo in episode 7, and so does Mel. Episode 7 is quite interesting, a bit Truman Show, and features the return of 2 classic villains and 2 classic companions. Hopefully RTD won't mess it all up with episode 8 like last year. But here is something very specific, RE episode 7. Spoiler alert. Both Susan and Mel... okay, no, never mind. He's replying to like a bunch of comments. This isn't like one
And so he's seeing
continuous...
some things repeated between
He's seeing
them.
something and he's like, well, but actually I know. Actually, I know about this one. Okay?
Actually...
And they say, he says like, oh yeah, Omega's in the final episode. If you're a fan of Space Babies, you'll love another returning character, sort of. Of course, referring to Poppy. And of course says that the Rani and Mrs. Flood dynamic is basically like Mrs. Flood is her sidekick. So there you go.
Yep.
Lot of stuff from Wishworld. Let's listen to another caller right now. Do you recognize this one? It's a longer call. Do you want to play it?
We're not allowed. Longer calls are not allowed, Crispy.
All right, fine. That's fine.
They're illegal.
I didn't say the name.
They're illegal.
Let's listen to OG Dr. Master. Hey.
I hate these leaks. I feel like they just ruin the show for everyone. I got the Midnight Twist spoiled for me in a YouTube live stream chat. Like, God, and I spent so long like trying to avoid it as well. I thought it'd be like a Waters of Mars sequel, and then it was right there. And someone mentioned the whole Jodie thing, and it's just like, is it necessary? Why do we need this? But I don't mind the stuff that's like behind the scenes. You know, we all like a bit of drama, we all like a bit of goss, and I'd actually like to see some stuff come out to see what the hell was going on behind the scenes. So yeah.
Exactly. As you said, there's a fine line that is not straight whatsoever. Like, there are different times you want to know different details. It's as you said, it's hard to police.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe we should call up Sting. Maybe he'll know.
What?
He's the police.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Good. Yeah, good.
Sorry,
yeah,
that was like a really
I
niche joke, I realised.
That's not that niche. I just didn't expect you to make a police joke.
What?
Anyway.
What's wrong with the
I can't imagine you listening to Sting.
I don't
That's
really.
all. Yeah, well,
I know he was in the B movie.
Wait, is that a B joke, or was Sting actually in the...
No, Sting was in the B movie. He genuinely was, because his name is Sting. They put him in the B
iconic.
movie.
Sting, I'm pretty sure Sting rocks up in Only Murders in the Building. I like this little side quests for Sting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Good
Sting
on
and
you.
Ray Liotta were both in B movie in like really small
Dude,
cameos.
B movie is perfect. What
It's
a film!
such a good film.
What a film!
like jazz?
That's absolutely delightful. Okay, you ready for this? Is it? This is strap in, Troy. Let's talk about the reality war, and we can go home.
The reality of the leaks.
Here we go. I'm gonna read like most of this.
Oh boy, I'm bracing myself for impact. Let's go.
Here we go. Just imagine you're reading this on the 6th of April. The Rani and Mrs. Flood are trying to summon Omega from the Underverse. Basically, Omega is now a horrible big CGI monster with a giant claw, voiced by someone who sounds a little bit like Gabrielle Wolf, Sutek. Was it the same guy? It might have been the same guy.
I doubt it, but maybe.
The nearest Shooty gets to a Dalek is a clip from Day of the Daleks in episode 8. Well, they haven't done the final edit of the episode yet. I think they're leaving it as late as they can to decide which ending to use. I'm not sure, but he definitely regenerates at the end of this episode. This is on the 6th of April, Troy. This is on the 6th of April. Although you don't see who he regenerates into. Also very telling. He just... No, not very clear. He just goes off and does it for no reason seemingly than the fact that it's the end of the season and he's not coming back for another one. It does feel a bit added on, which it obviously is. Another doctor comes back to help him on his way, but probably not the one you might be hoping for, ... So he's teasing 13's return.
Yeah.
And
but
someone's
in a very,
obviously
very cat-handed way. Don't be saying the one we wouldn't want or hope for.
Someone's obviously been like, "Who is it?" And then they say, "Who is it?" You don't see who he regenerates into or who helps him on his way, but I can give you a number if that helps. Okay, this is a separate comment. Okay, 13.
Oh, well, there you go. Great. Okay,
thanks, mate. Thanks for your one comment of resistance.
For pity's sake.
And then they say, and then later he says, "No, it's Jodie." It's basically 13 making a cameo, rather like Amy Pond did when 11 regenerated. And it happens at the end of the episode for no apparent reason. Why indeed? It's a bit of a mess, frankly. And and then he says Omega gets thrown away. Yep. And that's it. That's basically it. That's basically it. So we had the regeneration, we had 13, we had the bi generation, we had the Midnight Monster, we had basically the entire season. Fugitive Doctor, all the big surprises.
Everything hurts, Crispy.
Every single surprise.
It just blows my mind that so much of this got out, and like that is an entire confirmation. Although Strange didn't know about Billie Piper. But like that is everything.
I think later he.
Well, I know he did a big leak because I read this. This is the one leak from I read. I read a leak about the choice to bring back Billie Piper and when that was done. And without going into any more details, I know that he said that it was done a month or two before transmission.
Yeah.
Like that came out.
There is more to this article, but yeah.
I don't know how much more into that stuff we should go because, like, from my perspective, I wouldn't want to know too much, and I imagine our listeners may feel very similarly. So I'd rather err on the side of caution.
Yeah. No, we could.
But the point is, the only reason I mention that is I wonder if maybe it happened so soon that even when he was putting out the stuff about these episodes, he didn't know that was coming because he put all this out 5th of April, which is more than a month and a half before the finale aired. So the Billie Piper thing could have been filmed while the season was still going on.
Oh no, absolutely. In one of the things I read, he said that it just cuts to black.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
So whatever he saw, he didn't see the final regeneration.
Yeah. So, oh man.
Anyway,
man.
what a shame. What a shame. Maybe this season would have been seen a bit differently if not like, at least 50% of the audience already knew what was going to happen thanks to Mr. Andrew here. I don't know.
It's just a mess.
It's just a mess. I feel like I'm a mess, man. Anyway, that's it. Let us know how the leaks affected your season.
My only hope is going forward, whatever happens to Doctor Who, is that people feel a little less hard-pressed to share leaks. Like, you do not have to post everything online. I think what this community needs are better spaces for people to talk about leaks. Whether it's a specific Doctor Who Leaks Discord server or a specific Twitter community that's, like, locked off or something, like... We need to, as a community, be less flippant about sharing things behind the scenes because while you might want to know, or someone you know might want to know, most of the fan base probably don't want to know these things. They'd rather be surprised. Even if they don't end up liking the episode, it's better to be surprised rather than go into it going, well, I know this is going to happen. Because it may even predetermine your opinion anyway in the wrong direction. Because if you read about something in without the context, you may like it less than when you actually watch it. You may hear, oh, it's a Midnight sequel, and go, well, this is going to suck ass because there's no way it'll be anywhere near as good as Midnight. And then because you're already in that mindset, you watch the episode and go, yeah, that was rubbish.
Notion.
You know?
Yeah, Troy, could not have said it better myself, my man.
In other words, Russell, call out a plumber because you got some leaks to fix.
That's right. This fandom is sick. This fandom needs healing. What this fandom needs right now is, of course...
Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast?
So you should subscribe right now. Thank you
And
very
leave a
much.
5-star review everywhere.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Do it
and
on
thanks for
Twitter.
making
Go,
this
I
far.
don't read the leaks, but I do watch Who's There.
That's right. That's right. And if you want our episodes leaked early, please go and join our Patreon. You'll
Yes, brilliant. Yeah, we're finally starting to get ahead. I mean, as you heard us say earlier, we recorded this a week ahead, so this one will be
Yeah.
out a decent amount of time early on Patreon, so that's good, and hopefully long may that continue. So do make sure
Exactly.
you subscribe to the Patreon, and at any tier you'll get early access to every episode that we do, bar the live ones,
Amen.
because they're, well, live. Yeah. That's how it
Live.
works. Crazy that. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it
All right,
up.
ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all next week where we talk about some Doctor Who news that happened a week or two ago. Some interesting
Yeah,
news.
a long time
about
ago
the
now, but
future.
still.
Well,
Yeah.
the future of the show, but not the show you're expecting. Should we say it
No,
like that?
not at all. Not at all.
And also,
yeah,
it's
good.
using calls. We got calls in for a specific topic a few months ago. You can find out if you go digging, and then you'll know what's coming. But we won't say it outright. But we asked for
Yeah.
calls a few months ago for a particular topic that the episode never surfaced for, and it was us having a backup episode ready, so we could use this when when there was a dry news week. Hasn't been a dry news week in recent months for obvious reasons.
No.
But it just so happens everything comes around perfectly, and so it lines up beautifully with what next week's episode's going to be. So make sure you tune in for that. Until then, it is goodbye from Crispy.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. See you all next week. Allons-y, baby.
Allons-y, baby.